Hi everybody, welcome at Odoo Experience and in this session on integrated systems. My name is Elisabeth Teugels. I'm a business advisor at the mid-market and corporate team at Odoo, and today we will talk together, discuss and discover the many amazing benefits that are linked to having an integrated system such as Odoo.
Okay, Elizabeth, let's stretch a little bit before to start. One, two, one, two, one, two, one, two. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, a lot better. Thanks. All right, let's go. All right, so first, after the little stretching, I hope you all enjoyed you had some stretching at home as well or wherever you are. Let's now take a moment of Zen and think about our current system landscape. I want you to envision every single application that you have currently and to think about would you be able to call it already integrated? So, the school definition of an integrated system is actually that you have many systems that function in a way as if there was only one system in place. So really as one complete function, one union of systems. And there are many ways to obtain this. You can use technologies such as EDI or API technologies, or maybe you have a natively integrated system already. So envision that system that you have currently. Maybe it looks already a bit like this. So we have different best of breed applications.
Oh my God, how many applications do people use? It's crazy.
Yeah, there are a lot. And we call these in particular best of breed applications because they're really good in one business process or one business department, and the functionalities don't go a lot further. And for that reason, you quickly get a very scattered landscape with many different applications, and your employees will need to probably use one or more, probably three or more, even to do their daily job. Well, maybe it looks already a bit like this. So you have many applications and there are not really any connections in place in between. Or maybe you already took it one step further and you have all of these connectors built and maybe somewhere available that are sending data from one system to the other. That's another possibility. Here you can already say that it's more of an integrated system indeed, according at least to the school definition. A third possibility is that you have a natively integrated system such as Odoo, which means that data will come from one application or one dashboard to the other without you even noticing, without anything that you have to do. Well, you thought about your system. If it looks a bit more like the first or the second system or the image that we showed, you're actually missing out on a lot because you don't have a natively integrated system or even a system that is not fully integrated as such. It's not just you or the business leaders that miss a lot or management, it's as well the employees. And you probably experience one of the following problems for sure, which is reduced efficiency. So think about it. You have all of this data stored in multiple systems, in different systems, and it's really hard to analyze it properly. And you need to extract the data, then you need to prepare the data, probably you need to clean up a bit to get the duplications out and so on. And probably you are using a lot of VLOOKUP to get all of the sheets in Excel talking to each other.
VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP? Who used that thing?
I believe most of the audience are using it on a daily basis. Well, every time you think about it, all of these preparatory actions that you take, every time that you are extracting data or you want to just see your monthly figures or your quarterly figures, that's a lot of time wasted and spent on things that could have been avoided. This is a lot of time, if you think about it in a week, in a month, in a year, that's a lot of things you could have done in the meantime. Secondly, another way that we see that you will lose probably a lot of efficiency is that your employees as well, just to do a simple task, have to access different systems, different platforms to get the information needed to do the job. Instead of completing or continuing on a task, the workflow is disrupted all the time and stopped completely, which creates a lot of pending tasks. These are all wasted hours that result in lower revenue, reduced productivity, and even dissatisfied customers.
Did you just say less revenue?
Yeah.
Less productivity? My boss doesn't like that.
Yes, indeed. Without even noticing it, because you're losing so much time that you could have, in the meantime, already helped many customers, you're still busy in helping that one customer. They don't really necessarily get a really good feeling about the customer service, the after sales services that you provide. And that just simply because your employees want to do the best they can, but have to access many systems every time. A last thing is as well, if you don't have connectors built, you're probably duplicating data manually or partly manually. And I think we can agree that this is very boring to do.
Yeah, very boring.
Indeed. And you cannot really, can you really blame your customers if they lose focus? I mean, your employees, not your customers. When you lose focus, if we do a lot of repetitive tasks that are not really adding value to ourselves, we tend to lose focus, but as well to make mistakes by accident. It's not anything on purpose, but it is a lot of efficiency loss. Not only do you lose a lot of efficiency, time to work and spend on other things, an unintegrated system is as well very hard to maintain. And not only hard to maintain, it's as well very expensive to maintain. If you think about your average sales executive in your company, how many licenses do you have for this person? Probably you have a license for a CRM system, maybe even to make quotations, a quotation builder system, and maybe even a separate system for the billing of it. Those are 3 licenses for just one person, multiplied by everybody that is working in your sales department. Not only do you have double licenses, you also have duplication in the storage. Because you have data that is stored in your CRM system, in your sales system, in your quotation system. That's a lot of gigabytes that are, and maybe even at a certain point, terabytes we're talking about, that is just going to waste and is just storing exactly the same thing. Not only is it hard to, or expensive, and you have these licenses and so on, it's as well a lot harder for your IT administrators to solve problems. Every time there is an issue with with one of the systems, for example, your IT administrator needs to go into many different platforms, many different solutions to start to think, where could the problem be? Not only does it take a lot of time, they actually need to become really even experts in all of these different kind of solutions just to be able to help one of your employees with maybe regular IT problem. That's not even thinking about migrations and upgrades. If one of your applications in this whole network has to upgrade, you have to test a lot of things additionally to that, because every single link that you have to other systems as well are prone to, have failure or, reduced efficiency and functionalities lost, especially if you did already some customizations. And that's all time as well spent and complexity raised in your project and system landscape just for simply maintaining it and keeping it relevant. Oh, oopsie. Excuse me. Third, disadvantage that you see in the beginning, and we already briefly touched upon it, you as well miss on what is really happening on your company. Do you really know how you're doing on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis, on a quarterly basis, and even on a yearly basis? Just like that? Probably not. It's hard to analyze your data, and for that, it's as well hard to make the decisions that your company truly needs. But it doesn't have to be this way. With a tool, with a software like Odoo, thanks to Odoo, you can just lose all of these manual activities, lose all of the different actions taken to help a customer, just because you have a centralized system in which all the data seamlessly flows from one side to the other. Just to give you an example, for example, if a customer has an issue or a question about a delivery, from the support ticket, you can easily go into the delivery of that customer, into the sales order, maybe even from that sales order to the manufacturing order, to just see that one of the components was not in stock, is still being produced, and that's why we have a little delay on the delivery. Simple as that. Instead of going system to system to system and trying to, find a way to help this customer as fast as possible. That would all happen without you even noticing it, that all this data is going through. There's no need to build connectors or to click on a button. No, it's just there right for you to use it on one simple screen. So, Why should you care about having an integrated system? What are the benefits attached to it? We already covered maybe briefly a few, but it's also not just this. Integration is key. It is easier to maintain your system. It is easier to keep yourself and your system relevant for the future and future proof. It is just one of the hot topics of this time as well. It's not only important for your IT administrator, but it's as well just in general important for people, because all the benefits later mentioned do as well apply to all of your employees and your staff. Did you know that we spend actually at least 20% of our time at work?
That much?
Yeah,
How
that's
come?
that's a lot of time. If you think about it, 8 hours a day for quite a many years. I don't know in what country you're living in. In Belgium, it's until 67. That's a lot of time that we spend working. Moreover, the best people want to work with the best tools possible. Isn't that correct?
It's good to know that Fabien wants the best for us. Huh?
Yeah, indeed. So, not just that, the people that are in your company, you hire those people for a reason. It's not because they're good in doing some administrative stuff, or maybe they are, of course, if you're an administrative worker. But for your salespeople, for example, you hire them to go on the field and do those sales and boost your sales on a daily basis. You want them to be supported by a good functioning CRM system and other tools, and not to have them spend time in understanding how to use it, getting the data in and out, and all of these other little things that in the end add up to a lot of time spent not on their actual job. But there's, as we said, a lot more to come. First of all, are you ready for having less hassle? With an integrated system, you automatically exchange information. Your sales information is going into your delivery or your inventory system. Your help desk can have all of this information of your customer available. And the best of all is that you don't need expensive bridges. You don't need to hire your army of developers to check on all of the requirements needed on both sides of the systems to build an API bridge or maybe scripts, and depending on the requirements. There's no need for that, because just by making a customer, making a sales order, all of that information is going from your one application to the other within Odoo. You won't even notice it. And you don't even need to think about naming conventions. Can you imagine? You just avoid having duplicated data by simply only creating your data once. So you don't have customers with capital letters, small letters, lowercase, uppercase, the surname in 2 words or in 3 words. That's all just, you have one customer and you always have the 360-degree view of it. When you have an integrated system and landscape, you also have actually the benefits of having real-time analytics. You have real-time data available, you can have great analytics, and you can benefit from real-time accuracy. You can do exactly, know exactly how you did on a monthly basis, quarterly, or annually. You don't need to sync data. You don't need to be exporting and importing data in different systems or into your Excel files. No need for VLOOKUPs anymore. You made the links yourself just by having the system in place. You make your view and your report one time. You make the layouts, you put the columns in the way you would like to have it. You save it, and it's ready for reuse every single time that you may need it. You can share this data with other employees and co-workers, and you don't have all of this duplication of efforts along the way. Thanks to having all of this information in one place, you can as well use powerful BI tools to even get more into the deep data decisions and so forth. Of course, you will as well reduce some costs. It's less licenses per employee. You have only one license. You don't have to have double storage space, and your employees can matter on what really matters for the company. They can focus on why they are really there. With an integrated system, it's as well very easy to communicate consistently. You can have all your data, you have all your data in one place, and so there are no different versions, or there's no links missing. When you are helping a customer, for example, via your help desk, you will have immediately all information in one version available. So there are no misconceptions or maybe things left out of the whole picture. It's all easily reachable, and your customers will be very glad that you have indeed all the information needed to help them the best way possible. So that of course translates into a premium customer service thanks to a 360-degree view that Odoo provides. If you look at yourself, when you step into a store or you do an online order, don't you want them to immediately be able to help you when you're on the phone? Maybe you need to give indeed an order number, but that's maybe, at least for me, the most I want to give. I feel like they have the data because I use their websites and their places. Well, I think that counts for you, so that counts for sure for your customers as well. Thanks to this premium customer service, and you have better customer satisfaction, you accelerate your growth and innovation. Out of the sudden, you free a lot more time just to simply do on things that are meaningful. To spend on time for new product, new innovations, maybe new services, all from having all this data in one channel. And you save this time, you have your next innovation ready. And if you're expanding to a new location, not an issue. Your system follows very easily. You just create a new location. If you have more employees, because you're growing so fast and you need to hire more, no issue at all. Even better, you just make one license or one subscription for your employee. You onboard them. It's quickly done, and no 20 or 30 different places you need to create an account for them. Moreover, you only need to train them on one system. Yeah, indeed, only one system. Furthermore, you can up your marketing activities easily. All of these new locations where you're now available, you want to expand it, and you want to, of course, spread the word on all of the amazing products that you give and supply. You just have all the information available already of your previous customers and as well on the market. You can just easily use it in your new and upcoming campaigns and make it even better just in a few clicks. Thanks to this, you will boost your sales. We have more time available to work on what really matters, to do our job even better, and to go for the next generation of products and services. You will be able to help the customer in the best way possible, as fast as possible, so they always leave with a smile. And thirdly, you have motivated employees, not to forget. You have motivated employees because they have tools that they love to use and give the best of themselves every single day. So, are you excited to learn about what Odoo has to offer for your company? Don't wait any longer to discover what we have to offer for you with our more than 40 seamlessly and natively integrated applications. Moreover, Odoo is available as well mobile. You can do it whenever you want on whatever device you want. You have applications for boosting your marketing, boosting your sales, for customer services and after sales. The list goes on. Even manufacturing and product development, all is available. If you are in particular interested in understanding how Odoo handles your file, I'd like to encourage you to join the session of my colleagues Claire and Aline that will start at 5 p.m. today, where they will guide you on how do we, check your case, how do we analyze your requirements, how do we, show you what Odoo has to offer, and from beginning the first conversation until initiating the project. So that's one of the exciting presentations coming up. Something else that may be interesting for you is the presentation on how to best prepare for an ERP selection. This is tomorrow, done by my colleagues Pierre and Adrien at 4:30. And obviously we have a lot of more exciting talks to come during these 2 days. Voilà, so this is the Odoo dashboard, many applications, many possibilities. We are really sure that we can offer the best for you. On the go, on whatever device you would like to have. And with these words, I would like to thank you. We have now a Q&A session coming up. I see there are already some questions in the chats already. We'll take a few minutes and then we'll join you to have all of these questions answered. Thanks a lot for your time and have a good afternoon and rest of Odoo experience. Bye.
Hi everyone, thanks for being connected still for this Q&A answer. So unfortunately, Elizabeth couldn't be here today, so we're here with Lucas. Lucas, can you please introduce us a bit and tell us what you do at Odoo?
Okay. Hello, Damien. Hello, everyone. Thanks to be there. So my name is Lucas. I'm the manager of the team is called Mid-Market and Corporates. So it's the team who are in charge of a bigger customer for bigger implementation for Odoo.
Okay, thank you. So let's start with the question. First of all, we have a question from Pierre asking, would you advise to do temporary integration during the implementation?
But first to explain what is a temporary integration is during the project, of course, that we are going to phase the project with different scopes. So, for example, first of all, the customers say, okay, I want to go live with the CRM later. I want to go live for the inventory and stuff like that. Okay, because it's a big risk for a customer to go live directly with all the application of Odoo, and that's part also of the Odoo implementation methodology. So we are agile. So the goal is to deliver as fast as possible the solution and go live as fast as possible for a part of the business. So that's true that when a customer had previously an integrated system, you have to manage this temporary integration. Okay, so it means that at the beginning, maybe you will have to connect the CRM application, create the quotation in Odoo. But for example, when an order is confirmed, it will go in the existing ERP of the customer because it will not change directly. Okay. So that's part of a project. It can take a lot of time. So it's really important when you have that kind of issue to discuss with your integrator, discuss with Odoo about that and see the way that will handle that part. Because you have to see, okay, what will be the cost of this temporary integration? How many times this temporary integration will stay? Or maybe it is better in that case to do a larger scope and to do a go live with a larger scope in the future. So every project is different. So discuss with your integrator and let's find a solution with them. I think that's the best answer that I can give today.
Okay, thank you. We have another question asking, how do you approach integration if not everything is covered in Odoo?
But that's also a good question. Typically, we have to see how often you will have to use this data. A lot of customers say, okay, I want to have one system when all is integrated automatically. And when you qualify the customer, you see that, for example, they need this data only, for example, one time per year to do some reporting. And so why it's not a good idea to integrate automatically this kind of information? Because it will cost you a lot in terms of integration, in terms of analyze of the need, in terms of creation of the integration, in terms of testing. So you have to find a good balance. Okay, I need to do an integration because I need this data every day, for example. And in that case, of course, that you will not do a manual import and stuff like that. So in that case, it's interesting. But if the goal is to have this data one time per year, for me, we'll advise to say, no, you don't have to do this kind of integration. And as an integrator, you have to challenge your customer about that, okay? Because integration takes time, it can be painful, and so it can bring a lot of risk on your project.
Okay, great. There's some interaction about BI. First of all, how can we manage BI if we only use Odoo? Do you have to give it up on it?
But it's important to mention that Odoo is not a data warehouse where you can combine data from several systems. Okay, so if your need is to do a BI with data which is coming from different systems, in that case, Odoo will not be the good tools for that. Okay, so for that you can use an external system, and Odoo we have an advantage that we have an open API, so it means that you can push the data from Odoo to another system to do some BI. But if, for example, there is no data which is coming from external system and use Odoo for all your process, in that case, Odoo can play the role of a BI tools because all the data are integrated. There is some reporting who are already set up in standard. You can use the pivot view, but we have also a really nice functionality with Odoo spreadsheet where you can do a lot of reporting and you can play really it's like Excel, so it's really easy to use, and you don't have to be an engineer to create your reporting. So that's my answer to that question.
Okay, we have another question related to BI. When doing an initial implementation and the client is big into BI and analytics, which apps in combination gives the biggest bang for the bucks for analytics?
Okay.
A bit more technical here.
I'm really a bit more technical. I will see if I will be able to reply to that question. Just give me 10 seconds to read again the question. Really, I know that Odoo, we have already done some integration, for example, with Power BI or to some data lake and data warehouse. So I think I will not recommend any specific solution for that. I think discuss that with your integrator who have some expertise on that topic.
We have a question about are all the modules of Odoo easily connected, or do we need to connect them?
But the real advantage of Odoo is that there is a really native integration between the system, and that's the reality in Odoo. We are the editor of the software, and we don't have grow by buying external systems and try to integrate them. No, it has been think to work all the module together. So that's the real advantage of Odoo solution, is that you have a native integration between the different systems.
Okay, great. We have one more question, time for one more question. To really push the Odoo only application, you will ever need message in the UK, country-specific payroll configuration, and annual update for change in legislation is required. What are the chances?
I think it's not the topics of today.
It's a bit off topic indeed.
But I think for that, I don't know if there is some specific presentation about payroll, but don't hesitate to send me an email if you have some question about that. So my email address is lud@odoo.com, and I will be able to transfer your question to the good person.
Okay, great. And I think we had one more question about, where was it?
Okay, but I think we have.
I think we're done. Sorry, I couldn't find the question.
Thanks, Damien.
Thanks everyone. Thanks, Lucas.
Thanks everyone for these talks, and I wish you a good day.
A good audio experience.
Bye bye.